Well, a lot has changed the last time I was on here, and I didn't mean to take such a long break. But let's get into it. Well, I don't even know where to start. I guess I'm going to start right around my birthday. Back in December, I was doing 12 Days of Stitchmas, and that's where we left off. So I was intending on coming back the week of my birthday, but the week of my birthday, everything went crazy. I went ahead, we were a few days before my birthday, our landlord went ahead and called us and said, oh, we sold the house. This was a huge shocker. My husband had lived there over 25 years. I had lived there over 5 years. This was the only home I've ever known in Iowa. The rest of my life I had spent in Michigan. So it was a huge surprise to us. We had no idea they were even talking about selling the house. Nobody had been by to show the house, anything like that. And they said they sold the house. So then that was quite the shocker. And so that kind of set me back a week because we had to start thinking about, moving. Then a couple days later, super close to my birthday, we found out my grandma, who had beat cancer once, had cancer again, and she's terminal. So that was a huge second blow to us. And like I said, all coming on the week of my birthday. So in the end, my birthday kind of got lost and life just kind of went crazy there for a bit. We didn't know exactly when we were going to have to move because our landlord kind of told us one thing, then it turned out to be another thing, and then it was, well, they sold the house and they're taking immediate occupancy. Then it was, well, no, you don't have to move out till May. It was just a whole mess. After my husband had such a long history with these people, it was just so crazy to just all of a sudden kind of be kicked to the curb. So you can imagine with my husband, if you know anything about my husband, you can only imagine the amount of stuff we had to go through. Like, he's been a mechanic all his life and lots of tools, huge pole barn full of stuff, a regular barn, a big house full of stuff, sheds. I mean, we had a zillion things we had to go through, like to figure out what we're taking, what we were taking, what we weren't taking. We were trying to figure where to go. Needless to say, all in all, life went crazy. And like I said, in the middle of this, my grandma, finding out she was terminally ill. And I mean, I haven't barely seen my family in a long time because with the pandemic and, the distance from Iowa to Michigan is, I mean, it's not the hugest, but, it's still quite a drive. You're not going up and visiting, for a day and coming home. What's a lot of driving. Fast forward to present day. And I've had a couple projects I've made, not as much as I would like. Fast forward to present day, we have a new home and we moved. And I would say we only took about 10% of what we owned with us because it just, life, all in all, us and the puppies got moved. We're getting adjusted to our new home and I want to get back to filming regularly. Also, I found out that I have a passion for crochet tech editing and I'm pursuing that. That doesn't mean that this channel is going to go away or it's going to turn into just tech editing, but that's something I'm pursuing. I'll probably talk a little bit about it from time to time. So I thought today maybe I would share some of the things I've finished. I haven't been crocheting a lot, honestly, though. Even though this is months and months later, life's been crazy and, move, jobs, everything else. It's one of those things where life just keeps happening. So today I just want to give you a quick life update and share with you a couple things I've made. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is a blanket I made for my grandma. When I talked to my grandma, I asked her if she had a bucket list. And she told me the only thing she really wanted to do was see the mountains and go to Dollywood, which she got to do back in September. When my grandma had told me that the only things on her bucket list were that she wanted to see the mountains and go to Dollywood, I thought of this blanket I had seen on TikTok that was called the Purple Mountains Majesty. And so I decided to make that to her. I purchased the pattern. I'm also going to put a link in the description because if you think it's as pretty as I did, if you love this blanket as much as I did and she did, that maybe you'd want to make it too. So I'm not sponsored, I'm not connected at all, just a big fan. I really love the pattern. And it was easy to follow, and for me it ended up being a great stash buster, especially since we were moving and I was trying to take as little as possible. The blanket is beautiful when it's all put together. It's made up of over 300 granny squares. And for me, it was something easy I could work on, relaxing, just, you know, zip, zip through some granny squares. The only thing that I didn't really think through, which I should have, was I should have been sewing the squares together as I went, because I decided to get all the squares done. I wanted to lay it out and then start sewing it together. And to me, that ended up being quite overwhelming. Like, I hate the sewing part. I hate weaving in ends. If you've been following me for a while, you know that. And in the end, it was just a little too much. So, I mean, I did get it finished, but I know me well enough that I should not have waited and sewed them all together at the end. I should have done it, you know, after I get like a row together. After I would have got a row of granny squares done, sew those together, because it was a lot. So I love the blanket. She was a big fan. I'm going to insert a video here that's going to show her getting it, and I'll probably throw in a couple pictures. And here you go. Say hi to Bree.
Hi, Brianna. I love you.
So, she made this for you. It's your grandma's day gift. Well, if you open it up and look at it, it's got mountains, so you can always remember your Dollywood trip.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You have it upside down, I think. Your trees go the other way. But she said this way you'll always remember your time.
So after I finished the blanket, I was looking for something else quick and easy to do. When I got to thinking about it, I had heard my mom say a few different times that my grandma was struggling to find something because she was losing her hair. She was struggling to find something that really worked for her, that wasn't too hot or itchy because summer was coming on, and something comfortable but still cute and kind of fashionable. And I saw some really cute like hats. I found a YouTube video, which I'll go ahead and also link down below in the description in case you want to make them too. I really like the hats, and I'm actually planning on probably making a couple for myself, just because since they've got kind of a mesh to them, they're something I can wear year round, and I think they're super cute and fashionable. So I've got a couple pictures of her. I'll go ahead and insert here also. You can go ahead and see the hats. I'm really proud of these. So she loved all of them, but there was one that was just a little bit too small. I don't know if it was the first one I made, or maybe my attention was just off when I did that one. The one that came out a little bit too small, her great-granddaughter, my cousin's daughter, she ended up really liking it. She ended up taking it home. So that one went to a good home too. But you know, actually come to think of it, mostly I've been doing granny square stuff. Also, I saw a lot of people making little fanny packs out of granny squares, and I started on that. I haven't finished lining it yet and putting a zipper in or some kind of closure, but I got that done too. I'll have to show you that. I really like the way this came out. All I did was put together granny squares. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Most people were using 3. If I'm a bigger girl, I wanted a bigger fanny pack. And then the back, I just did a couple black plain ones. So, a little buckle, and away I went. So I haven't totally finished this yet. It needs to be lined, like I said, and needs a zipper put in. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. The other thing I accomplished was this Rwanda, and I'll have to insert a picture because I'm just not going to be able to hold it all up where you could be able to see it all. Okay. So let me try and sit back a little bit here. I'm not going to be able to fit the whole thing in here, so I'll have to maybe insert a picture, but I'll just show you kind of one of the squares. These are very big granny squares. I thought this was really cool, these colors together. I saw this idea on Pinterest. You take 5 different granny squares, large granny squares, and then you sew them together in a way that it can drape around your neck, and you can bring it around your front, and you have this kind of oversized Rwanda. I am really looking forward to wearing this. I'm ready for the weather to get cold so I can wear it out. I thought this would be something great I could wear, run out to the grocery store real quick, or, you know, just if I need to go outside to bring the dogs in or take the dogs out. It's something I could just easily throw on. It didn't take a lot of time. I mean, whatever it's going to take you to make 5 large granny squares and sew them together. So I didn't put an edging on it. I just, as is where it is. I really like this, and I thought, you know, if you wanted to, you could even go ahead and sew a couple of like miniature granny squares on there with the same color scheme, and you could have pockets if you wanted. But I like it the way it is. And if I was going to put pockets on it, I'd put them on the inside though, so it doesn't mess up the integrity of the granny squares on the outside and take away from them. So I guess right now, that's all in all I have to show you. So not as much crocheting as I would like. Mostly this was going to be a life update because, like I said, life went crazy. But it's getting back on track, and I want to get back to posting on here and on my... I want to get back to posting here and on TikTok and on WordPress. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you'll continue to stick with me on this journey, and we can share more about crochet and all things yarny that we love. Until next time, take care.